morning, everybody. So we are going to have a very intense meeting today. A lot of issues. I mean, first, of course, Ukraine. We see strong push for peace, but it's one-sided. We haven't seen any willingness from the Russian side to move or seriously talk about peace. Even the ceasefire for the Christmas was rejected. So clearly we need to put the pressure on Russia so that they would go from pretending to negotiate to actually come to the table and really negotiate. And of course we have the discussions on the reparations loan. Now the proposals that we have been working on also addressing Belgium's concerns. I think to go for the legislative proposal means that we all take the risk because it's a European proposal, so the risk and the burden is shared equally. So I think the issues that Belgium has raised, we have also addressed, so I hope that we get this over the finishing line. Putin is banking on us to fail, so we shouldn't give them that. We also discuss European competitiveness and how we can be a stronger economic power, and there very important is also to have diversified trade deals, and therefore the Mercosur agreement is equally important to have opportunities for our companies, for our prosperity in this very dangerous world where we have actors that are weaponizing trade, that are weaponizing supply chains. We need to be more independent in this regard. So a lot of topics and it's going to be a long meeting.
How can you reassure Brussels today? How will you reassure Brussels today?
Belgium. As we have had over the weeks and days, the negotiations to address the concerns that they have. I understand Belgium is under a lot of pressure from Russia, from European countries, but also from the United States. And in order to get off that pressure, actually, we should have a European proposal. Then Belgium will just abide by the law, and whoever has any concerns can, go to court against European Union. But I think the fundamental issue is that Russia is causing the damage in Ukraine, so they should also be responsible for the reparations, and this reparations loan is based on that very idea.
What do you make of the peace talks?
What happens if you fail?
Excuse me?
What happens if you fail to agree on yesterday or tomorrow?
Well, we have to work on the plan A that we have, and we really need to have a solution because, like I said, Putin is banking on us to fail. We just can't afford to fail. We have to show that we are strong. Of course, we are 27 democracies. That takes time, and discussions take time. But in the end, unity is our strength, and we need to have a solution.
Are you comfortable with the security guarantees for Ukraine and the path of these talks and this taking now?
Well, the security guarantees, the talks are going to the right direction. Ukraine really needs tangible security guarantees so that it is clear if they are attacked again, who comes in with the troops, who gives capabilities, so that, it is assurance, not on paper, but really with real means. And there is important that also the United States is a part of these security guarantees.
Do frozen assets jeopardize a U.S. peace deal?
The peace deal is jeopardized by Russia that hasn't accepted anything. So again, there's a strong push for peace, but it's one-sided as Russia hasn't agreed to anything. So that is the main risk. Again, Russia is the one who has started the war, who is doing the bombing, harming the civilians. They can also stop this war, and we need to do everything that they will. And that's why we have the pressure. That's why we have the sanctions. And that's why we are also working on the reparations loan so that there will be funding for Ukraine for the next 2 years.
Enlargement, you will also discuss enlargement and perspectives of Ukraine.
Yes, we will also discuss enlargement. Yesterday already with the Western Balkan countries, we had discussions when it concerns to Western Balkan countries. I think this is also a pivotal moment that we have to use in order to really build our geopolitical power. When there are voices who are saying that Europe is no good, then there are a lot of countries who want to join Europe. So definitely we have something good, and we have to make use of it, that we are also moving on so that the countries will come and join European Union.
In this case, you're asking Georgian people. You already, before yesterday, mentioned that Georgian people expect your support on their fight.
We are supporting Georgian people, but we are not supporting Georgian government. So Georgian government is taking Georgia to the wrong direction, that goes not in the direction of European Union. And that's why our strong message to the Georgian people is that we stand with them, but as long as the government is making wrong steps, we are not going to go on with the candidacy. Thank you.
You said earlier this like Eurobonds didn't fly. Is the reparations law the only viable option at this point?
Well, it is the most viable option. The reparations loan is the most viable option right now on the table. We need to work with that, as we have tried other things before. So we have taken these negotiations quite far, also to address the issues that Belgium has had, so to take down the concerns. So I really do hope that we get this over the finishing line.
How important is it you have to change your immigration policy right now?
Well, the discussions are also ongoing, but it's not where I'm really involved.
How important is it to reach a decision
What
on the
about
assets compared to the other
enlargement? What will
solution?
you
Does it have
discuss
implications for Europe's standing in the peace negotiations?
Yeah. No, this is very important because it sends a strong signal to Russia that they can't outlast us. It sends a strong signal to Ukraine that there is a funding for the next 2 years. And it also sends a strong signal to all the other actors that Europe is, taking the decisions and is strong in this sense. So the reparations loan is based on the principle that the one who is doing the damage has to also pay for this. So clearly, this is something that is the most viable option that is right now on the table.
What will happen if there is no agreement today? What will happen?
Well, we'll concentrate our efforts to have the agreement today, or at least during this meeting. Maybe the meeting will not end today, but we will stay here as long as we have a solution.
What does it mean for frozen money from Russia, the last chance for Ukraine?
Russia wants us to think that they can outlast us, and that's why it is important that we show that this is not the case. We know that the Russian economy is not doing well, and they are clearly banking on us to fail, so we shouldn't give them that.
President Donald Trump did not happy to make so many meeting conference with the President Zelensky. What's your opinion?
Well, of course, we have seen strong push for peace, but it is one-sided, as we don't see Russians also wanting peace. I mean, even the Christmas truce was rejected by Russia. Therefore, our approach has been we have to put the pressure on the aggressors so that they would go from pretending to negotiate to actually come to the table and really negotiate. We are not there.
On the frozen assets, what does it mean for Belgium to be able to agree?
They have expressed their concerns on various topics, and various issues have been also replied and taken into account regarding their worries. But I think what is important is to understand that if we do this European proposal, we actually take the pressure off from Belgium, because then the whole of Europe is responsible and not Belgium being under the pressure. So the concerns that they have had, we also have had, amendments to address those concerns. So I really, really do hope that we get this agreement today. Well, but the reparation loan is for Ukraine, and Ukraine is in war. Russia is bombing Ukraine every day. So that's why the reparations loan is needed for Ukraine to be able to defend itself, and the financing for Ukraine. So that is what is at stake right now.
When will you go ahead without the
Many member states have said that Belgium's consent is very important, so I don't think that we are going to move without Belgium feeling comfortable.
How do you rate the chances of agreement?
Well, I agree with Friedrich Merz. It's 50-50.